Okay, how are you all? Oh,
Sorry. Maybe chair from you.
oh yeah, sorry.
There had been
There.
communication.
I need to mute this one as well. Sorry?
Yeah, the speaker. You put it off. Let me cancel it. It's okay.
Thank you.
Do we have Liz on that? Is that a link she was supposed to use, I think?
If so, we need to tell.
Who is
If you can
Liz,
tell
Liz.
Liz to,
Liz.
is she? Can she join the main room?
the main meeting?
The main.
I tried to call, but she's not picking. But I've sent her message to log in and come to room breakout.
No, so log into the main room and then join breakout room 2.
Okay, so
Don't use the link on the. Is that's
Is
correct?
okay, that's
Yeah.
okay.
to the menu.
Yeah, she logs into the main room, and then from the main room she joins
Breakout room 2, and then she should find us there. Yeah, exactly. So, we've already had How Are We this morning, but let's have How Are You after lunch? Briefly. Michael, that phone can go far away now.
Sure.
So normally with a closing, just to before we get to how are you, we kind of reflect on your progress. But what I'm getting from you, Fatuma, is you want to go through the transformational plan. How long do you think that will take for us to go through it?
You give us time, we'll fit in that one.
Half an hour?
I think we can fit in that. We'll use like
So-
10-15 minutes to take you through, and then you can use the other minutes to get you
Yes. So maybe we start with a kind of closing of our coaching journey, and then we can look at the transformational plan. So normally the closing journey would take the hour. So we'll have to be a bit briefer in our sharings, because we have a bit less time. But I think we have until 3, yeah. Although then we have a half-hour break. So if we go a little bit over 3, I think we'll survive. So, yeah, let's just have one word. How are you after lunch?
ready to receive.
Ready to receive. Roger.
Little bit energized.
A bit energized.
I was dozing a little bit before the lunch, so
Okay.
now I feel fresh.
Good. Irene.
Excited.
Excited. Samali.
I'm just getting into now that Nairobi feeling, but in the morning I wasn't there yet.
Yeah,
Because we had a disorganized day yesterday.
I heard you arrived quite late.
It went more crazy than what you had.
Yes, I haven't had all the details. I'll let you keep those. Well, you can share if you'd like to, but not now. It could take the whole session. Michael?
Yeah, I think this room is cooler than the bigger room. I feel cool. It's
Yeah,
has enough
space.
fresh air.
Fresh or cool air?
It's cool air, not fresh, cool.
Yeah.
Getting cold.
It's cooler than the other one.
I was telling Irene, it's like they put fans under the table.
So
In
I
that
will
room.
feel
Yeah.
like I've just had a shower, so my brains are
Fresh.
Ready to go. Yeah, it's so nice to have us all here.
Yeah.
Like, it's so different, isn't it, from being on a Zoom?
Yeah.
I mean, I know we've
absolutely.
achieved a lot through Zoom,
Mm.
but still. And you look, I don't know, different from Nairo when we were first here. And I noticed, we were just talking at lunch briefly, Irene and I. Did you notice Irene was, you got up and presented today. I'm not sure you would have done that when we started. Would that be true?
She should tell us.
Yeah, to the new people, it would be very difficult. Back home, because I present, especially the areas where I'm an expert, and I know exactly what I'm speaking to. But, of course, when we have just, the last time we were here, I wouldn't, that's the truth, I wouldn't. But now, I remember where we were seated, the table where we were, they just told me, I read and I'm like, yes, because I feel more confident.
Yeah.
I feel I have something that I can bring to the table, something different, something unique. So, yeah, I feel happy that you appreciated it, so I don't know about the rest of it.
What did you say?
Of course we do.
Yeah, yeah.
I already told her.
She's shining bright. Yeah. And shining in her own way as well. Like, you all shine differently because of your different enneagram and your different orientations. Okay, great. She's finding Liz. Yeah.
Breakout room too.
Breakout room.
So I think let's get started. I think, we all know you've made a lot of progress yourselves over the last 6 months. So this is just, as it's the Celebration Summit, the closing session as well is really just to recognize your progress, celebrate it, and and close off in a way that helps you answer some of those questions that were there this morning about, okay, so what next? And that's where the transformational action plan will also help. So I just have a few questions I normally ask in a closing session. Other coaches have different ways of doing it. But yeah, also please, if there are things that you want to share that in this session, just say them, bring them out, because maybe I'll focus on things that you want to focus on other things. So I'm just going to ask you a few questions, and then you can see how you respond to them. So just a reminder of your topic, as if you need it, but you never know, but how it was written down. So you wanted to be more able to appreciate each other, your diversity and your strengths, so that you could communicate with more honesty and openness. And we said as well that would help you to be more effective as a leadership team. Although I think at the beginning, some of you weren't sure that if you did appreciate yourselves more, your diversity, your strengths, you still weren't sure whether that would make you more effective. So that would be interesting to see whether it has. So I want you to just think back to the first time we were here, those back in May, and just to think of a few words that would describe how you were as a team related to that topic. So just think of words that would have described the Como leadership team back in May. And just say them. What word might describe you back then as a team?
Back then,
Yeah, back then in May.
disconnected.
Disconnected. Yeah, Irene. Sorry, Samali?
Pretenders.
Pretenders. Yeah?
Dishonest.
Dishonest. Michael?
I was still thinking, I don't know whether this falls in, but we are doing things more as individuals than as a team.
Yeah. Yeah. Fatuma?
Maybe I have like two. One is blind,
Blind?
the other is protective, very protective of self space.
Yeah. Okay, great. And any others? Yeah. Fear. There was fear. Yeah. Fearful. Anything else? Stressed. Now it's all coming out. Anything
No
else?
trust.
No trust. Yeah.
Unprofessional.
Unprofessional.
Playing blame game.
Playing blame games. Any others?
Small teams.
Small teams, yeah. Small teams within the team, yeah, yeah. So see how clearly you see it now.
Yeah.
You didn't see it that clearly back then. Some of the small teams I remember we talked about last time, the blame games. But the other things you weren't seeing them so clearly. Or maybe you weren't able to articulate them so openly as you can now. So what about words to describe you now as a team related to your topic?
Lisa's coming.
Oh. Hi Liz. Would she be able, can she hear me? Hello? Hi Liz. Hello Liz. Can you be thinking of words to describe yourself now while we try and get her? And you can share? Hmm?
Team players.
Team players.
Conscious.
Conscious.
Happy.
Happy.
But you saying it sadly. Happy. Like you even bent your neck. Happy.
Oh, are you sure?
That's an emotional.
Yeah, there's always
Yeah, that means it's just an emotional expression. It's coming from deep.
the heart.
It's not coming from
Speaking
the
from the
mouth.
heart.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal. Wow. And that's true. What else? Rogers.
We are patient with each other.
Patient. empathetic, accommodative,
Emotionally balanced.
emotionally balanced. Any others?
Maybe free or open.
Free and open,
More trusting.
more trusting,
Professional.
professional,
Dynamic.
dynamic,
Improved communication.
improved communication, did you say? Yeah. Okay. Have we lost? Yeah, Liz. Anyway, hopefully she'll come back. Anything else anyone wants to add on how to describe yourselves now?
Maybe connected.
Connected, yeah. Okay, so I want us to just spend a bit of time looking at the development objectives. You might not have them in front of you. I know that I can see that Fatuma does, but I can read them to you. We'll just go through them one by one and look at just have a bit of thinking around how far have we come in each of them. So if we look at the first one, which was to create spaces to get to know each other better, informally and vulnerably, to appreciate difference and strengths, and share about potential blind spots. If you were going to give yourself a mark out of 10 on that one, where would you put yourself? So I'll read it again. To create spaces to get to know each other better, informally and vulnerably, to appreciate difference and strengths, and share about our potential blind spots. Where do we think we are as we close?
You've given us a scale?
Out of 10.
Give it a 8.
8? Did you say 5, Samily?
I'm saying 5. Each one
They ask you, are you saying
I'm defending the 5.
Yes, tell us why 5.
Now I was giving him as an example that him and Irene are my accountability that, I'm supposed to work on their relationship. But I'm trying, it's not easy.
Yeah,
So that's why I'm giving it a 5.
okay.
Because we are
Yeah.
not yet there. We are not yet to our 8. That we don't know.
I mean,
You and me.
between me
Yeah.
and her, we are at 9.
Yeah, we also need to know.
So Michael says 9, Irene says 4. So is
That is between Michael and Irene.
Oh, I can see.
Okay.
Fatuma, where are you? Where are we? You?
I think it's like a 6.
Yeah. So I think.
I would say 7 because that was just out of the context. It was between just
Yeah.
me and Irene, but for the
Overall.
objective, for
Yeah.
our objective, I would rate it at 7.
And also, interestingly, I mean, this is not research, but the women tend to undervalue and the men tend to, I mean, not under and over, but it is quite a typical behaviour that that's how we are.
They are not realists, they are
Idealists.
Well, and maybe we're pessimists, you know, I mean.
Oh, we pay attention to so many
we,
details.
yes, and we sort of, we're not
consider
really that
many
good.
more things than they do.
More, maybe they have more confidence in the team. the men have more confidence in the team. Perhaps. Okay, so let's stick with 7. So the beauty is there's still work to be done. You know, we never expected you to be a finished product at the end of the 6 months, but that, you know, I think you all say there's progress, and, you know, some relationships are easier than others in your team. So there will be people who you find it much easier to communicate with than others. And that's fine. You just have to know, well, this one needs a bit more of my work and attention. But I think keeping those, you know, those spaces. Are you still doing the weekly space, informal gathering?
We're doing it a bit more often, and then it comes off a bit more.
You do it more often, more than once a week.
Kind of, because
Wow.
we easily delve into informal.
Okay, yeah. Is that the same for everyone?
Yeah, I think
It's becoming natural.
I think it is not put on schedule that this is, but like she's saying, for every meeting we have to normally dive into those talks and chats.
Yeah, the informal, but including everyone rather than
Yeah.
side.
No, including
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, should we go to the next development objective, which was about being intentional, about having conversations with the right people that are professional, respectful, and honest. To be intentional about having conversations with the right people that are professional, respectful, and honest. How do we think we've got on that one? You know, are we more often than not making sure we directly communicate with the person that we need to communicate with about an issue, rather than chatting with someone side? 8. Michael's giving it an 8. Yeah, let's just have the numbers. Samily, what's your number? You know, and don't, you know, it's not an exact science, so. Fatuma?
8.
You're giving it an 8? Rogers? 7? Irene?
7.
Hi Liz, can you hear us?
Yes, I can now.
Oh, fantastic. Welcome.
Thank you.
Can we see you too? How's your internet? Aha, there you are. You have good sunshine. we don't have. Leave it there. Oh, that's good to see you. So we're trying to look at the progress that you've made and to rate yourselves on what progress you've made in each of the development objectives. So we'll continue and we'll bring you in on the next one.
Okay.
Irene, on development objective 2. Oh, I've got yours. Samily.
I think a 7.
7. Okay, so that's looking like there's a bit more progress on that one. Although we didn't have a number that we started at, but it's looking like, you know, that one is more embedded, that you make sure that you have conversations with the right person rather than going through the back door with somebody that perhaps isn't supposed to be involved in that conversation. Yeah? Okay, and the next one, development objective 3, all team members take responsibility to play their part in communicating and reducing the fear and tension that is felt by themselves and or others. So Liz, we're trying to give it a rating out of 10 to each of the development objectives. So this is development objective 3. All team members take responsibility to play their part in communicating and reducing the fear and tension that is felt by themselves and or others. Maybe you can rate yourself in this one. Are you taking responsibility to play your part in communicating and reducing fear and tension? Maybe sometimes you do it really well and maybe sometimes you backslide. That's also okay, it happens. So who wants to give a mark out of 10? Fatuma?
I think I can say it's between 7 and 8.
Okay. Michael?
8.
Samali?
I have somebody's giving it a 9. However, I just wanted to give beef on it on the
Yeah, please do. Give some beef.
yeah, I'm not going to share the whole story, but it is something that I shared in the morning with my team on the table. The scenario that happened yesterday, and the way we managed to get out of it, it was quite a challenging one. Missing a flight and being at the airport for all that time, and I never had any single member of the team blame any
Wow.
the team that you're responsible for making us late, blah 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 blah. We're in this together. We made sure that we stayed together, communicated well together until the time we were here. So I appreciate that team, and I think we are doing well at that time.
Wow. Yeah. That's amazing. Did other people recognize that? Did you see that yourselves?
Yes, we did.
So that's the word you're using, conscious. You know, conscious leadership, consciously seeing how you're growing and developing. Wow. Irene.
I think I'll give it a 9 because it's one of the things that I think put a lot of effort.
A 9?
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Rogers.
Give it an 8.
Mm-hmm. And Liz? This third, give it an 8. Wow, so that's like your star development objective, that one. Taking more responsibility as a member of the team. The fourth development objective, I don't think we really did much work on this one, if I'm honest, but maybe you can tell me if this is not true. So interrogate and streamline email communication and expectations for response, reading reports, etc. Did we do any work on that? Excuse me for having a poor memory if we did. We did talk about it? Did you do anything about it?
There is change.
We talked about it during the sessions, but I think we need to do a practice about it.
You didn't do a direct practice.
And I think maybe it's kind of whatever achievement on it is a byproduct
Of the others. Yeah.
because the consciousness that comes from the others
Yeah.
kind of propels
Yeah.
this one,
Yeah.
because I remember recently what was happening? I had a workshop here, a meeting here in Nairobi.
Yeah.
So I sent out an email to all members here. Actually, I was with Liz in that workshop, so I realized something needed to be worked on during that course of the week while we were here.
Yeah.
So I sent out an email, and it required action. But in the email, I did not spell out do 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
And I also did not spell out that so and so take lead on
Okay.
ensuring that this is done. So when I got back and the week went without no one reading the email, not even responding, not even acting on it, and it came up in the bigger meeting from the other team members who expected a result, a communication, a response back from us. So I was like, oh, okay, I know what happened. I know where the gap was. But everyone, maybe I only discussed later with Michael, but everyone else maybe did not understand what I was referring to. But for me, I was like, okay, I would have been very specific that so and so take lead on ensuring that
Yeah.
this is done, and work on it by this time and give response
Yeah.
back to the team because they're waiting for it by this time. So I was like, okay, I know why the mess came
And
about.
why do you think you weren't that specific? Did you have to write the email in a hurry, or?
One, I assumed that the weight of the email would be felt,
Yeah.
right? Which didn't turn out so.
Yeah.
So explicitness then becomes the issue.
Yeah.
Like the principle.
Yeah.
Don't create room to assume that someone will see it the way you see it.
Exactly.
Of course, in another world, someone would term it differently, especially at our leadership level. But I think that's a discussion for another day.
Well, I think, clarity is so important for everyone, and recognition that everyone is busy. So if it's not clear in the email, this person needs to work on this person on that, then as human beings who are busy, it's not a surprise somebody didn't pick it up. So, we can never assume anything, I think, in how people will respond. So, having a work culture where we're clear with each other, this is what's needed. And recognizing we don't always, get it right. So perhaps somebody could have responded to Fatuma, thanks for the email. Could you make it a bit clearer about who does what, who you want to do what? Or, so that's the sort of being responsible bit of it, maybe, rather than just ignoring it.
I think this speaks to when we are coming up with this improvement objective. We were having issues to do with emails, people responding to emails and putting reports and giving feedback. And when you talk about clarity, and I feel it, the weight of attaching clarity to such kind of emails. Because I gave an example. I remember when we were developing the development objective, and you're sending out an email to all staff, and you expect feedback from the rest, but then some take it either as you're clarifying something, or you're trying to let everybody know, so they don't see the reason as to why they need to give feedback on that. So the clarity and being specific on certain emails is very important to what they are communicating.
Yeah, especially when you get many emails and so if an email doesn't have a specific thing that you're asked to do, then you can assume, it's just for my information. I'm not being asked to do anything with this. But I think you can have further conversations on that as well. How do we communicate? What is needed in an email? You might have people who write very long emails with lots of detail. You might have people who send emails that are very short. Like how do we understand each other's communication, and what's the organization's way of communicating?
Maybe as Michael said, that you need to be clear. Maybe someone might think if I reply to an open email like that, maybe they will put all the responsibility on me, so it's better I keep quiet. Whatever comes out,
Yeah, I mean,
and then it turns out no one comes out.
and I think that's a very honest thing to share, and knowing that you have busy schedules and responsibilities, and yeah, and
But
also for
maybe-
you as the leader to know
but
that.
maybe for sure, as we grow, the aspect of responsibility,
Yeah,
the level needs to raise above,
yeah,
especially on this table. We need to be that conscious that whenever I see an email from Fatuma, whether she has said there's an action to do, find a way to find out. In case you see the explicitness is coming out, find a way to find out, because the busyness is cutting across.
of course.
Yeah, because like that email, I sent it on a weekend, right?
Yeah,
In light of whatever I saw was coming ahead, and I worked the whole day that weekend to try to leave things in order
yeah.
before I could step away, right? But the pain that
So-
I put in a whole day's extra work trying to see this, and something that was so important to be done through the week
Didn't happen.
didn't happen.
Yeah,
And it has caused a delay.
yeah,
You get that particular school has missed out on their target. Almost.
Yeah.
They won't catch it
yeah,
for the term. So I think we need to grow to the level that you sense the other person's,
to some extent.
to some extent.
Mm.
In an event that they missed out explicitly, this email haven't come from. There must be something.
Mm.
If there's not come through, scratch a bit. Fatuma, I saw an email from you. Did you want any action to be done? Because maybe like I'm at that level with certain communications. Because of the way things happen, I'm like, when I see an email from really any member, I'll first run to check. Okay, could there be something that I need to act on? Because I learned the way things are going around. You have to be alert. Something to AXI, some things to this network, rather sector stakeholder communications. How might you say to them, okay, I need to touch this quickly, scratch it down. If you see things are not coming through, find a way, either find out from a colleague or call the person in the ministry to find out. I think that's the level that we need to work towards going forward, in as much as the other basics have to be taken care of.
Yeah. What did you have to share, Samali?
I don't know if my submission still makes sense, because in her explanation she kind of answered it.
Yeah.
But this is just something I'm trying to learn. It was in my report, and it's about expectations and assumptions. Assuming that someone is going to do something because they're expected to do it.
Mm.
So I'm trying to learn from my type 1 to stop of assuming that people understand things the way I do. So if you send an email and you expect people to respond to it promptly and they don't, like, you have to understand that everyone is not like you. Maybe they don't take things the way you take them. So she explained the urgency of some things, but
Yeah.
still you have to have at the back of your mind that these are human beings. Some don't operate the way I do.
And the executive director always has a bigger picture than anyone else. So you, Fatuma, are seeing things that other people maybe are not seeing. And that's critical for you to understand that whilst you want everyone on the team to be coming up and taking more responsibility, and that's great, they still might not have the big picture in the way that you have it.
To you, working on a weekend would be okay. Going to some members and feel like you're encroaching on their space.
No, I did not expect you to respond on the weekend.
No,
That's
no,
not
I'm
what
just
I'm
giving
asking
an
for.
example.
I,
I'm not saying about the weekend.
I was just explaining that
Mm.
this is now me trying to share the
No,
feeling.
for me, I was just bringing an
Yeah.
example.
I'm trying to share the
No,
feeling,
I get the feeling.
trying to bring
'cause
you
were-
to what
it
it
was-
took
Yeah, it was tense for,
that,
you.
eh,
You had
to come through,
Mm,
and because of these two worlds,
mm,
right? There's no explicitness on who to lead
mm.
and what is to be done. And then the call for an upward movement, that when you see certain communications from us here, in an event that the explicitness has missed out, scratch a little bit on this person. 'Cause I think now for me that goes to team, to being a team at another level, beyond the where we are now. It's, for me, it's like an upward movement, and it speaks to consciousness and alertness, going forward as we grow. But that, what you're saying, I understand.
What maybe I can as well share about it is, like we say that this objective number 4 is a kind of a byproduct from the other 3 objectives. I think having achieved a lot in the first 3 objectives makes us in a pole position to even achieve more on this. And what do I mean? Like if we have that, we have those spaces where we can communicate better, we are communicating professionally. There is empathy, there is, all those things that we've just been mentioning here. So I have on several occasions received email communications from Fatuma, from different people here. And they send me emails as well. And they normally tell me, well, you ask a lot of emails, but you never respond to emails, so you never act to emails. So when they send me an email, she normally does it a lot, and Rogers, I sent you an email about this, you have not responded. Did you see that I was asking this? They get into my inbox. I know it, professionally you have sent an email communicating to me, but then I haven't responded. But because of the other 3 objectives that we have gone through deeply, now we understand each other so well. We are more of, we are our brother's keeper and all that. You would want to ignite something in them. Did you see this?
Yeah.
Did you, this is this urgent, please check your email. You've done that to me
Yeah.
as well. Yeah. So I think that can also be an additional to something that we are trying to improve.
And that communication is not, it's not a personal attack on you.
Mhm.
It's a, assuming their best intentions of, he's a human being, he's busy, maybe he just missed it, let me remind him. And stopping the story there, not bringing big stories of, he doesn't take my work seriously, or, just leaving it at that level where, you're just accepting that he's somebody who's busy, and so you need to remind him.
Well, just wanted to add on that. It happens even when you work with your juniors.
Yeah.
Sometimes even themselves, they might send some information. On their levels, they see it as a priority.
Yeah.
And then you have a list of things to do. For you on your level, you feel like it's not a priority by that time. But you're going to deal with it. Sometimes they feel bad. They feel like maybe you are ignoring their communication or what. But then you have something. Like everyone has something he feels like it's a priority according to the levels where they are. So, but this is a general email that Fatuma sent, whereby like it contributes to the bigger picture, and it would be of course important like for everyone to think deeper. Why can I check on this? But since it was maybe open, actually you can ask me if it was which email. I can't even remember. So like
Yeah.
for her, she was seeing the bigger picture, and maybe for us, we felt like something that maybe she should work on. You know,
Yeah.
that's how I'm taking that.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good point. Sort of throughout the organization, you have people with different priorities, focusing on different things for different reasons. But the ED is the one who's juggling the most
Mhm.
by a long way. And so, you know, creating that supportive working environment is really critical. And just to finish on that one, Fatuma, as a leadership team as well, I would say perhaps have some more discussions around when we work and when we don't work. Because an ED working all day on a Sunday, I know many EDs do that and have to do it sometimes, but ensuring that that's not becoming a habit and something it's so important for you to have time out of work. So there has to be a way that you can accommodate the workload that isn't encroaching on your family life, your health, your well-being. You know, that's really critical in these leadership teams. You work on difficult issues, so you have to be well enough to do it. And not squeezing things into your time when you're not paid to work. You know, and I know in this sector, a lot of people do overwork. You're very passionate about what you do. But as a leadership team, you need to look after yourselves and you need to look after your team. And there's no shame in doing that and finding resources to be able to do that. So if that's employing more people or creating things that help you with your well-being, I think those are important things to consider as the senior leadership team. So we never have enough time, having just talked about the need for time. Liz, are we together? You've not fallen asleep over there, I'm sorry. Do you want to add? Is there anything you'd like to say?
I know I was following.
Okay, can you hear everyone well enough?
I can hear you and Fatuma well enough, others it's a bit low.
Okay, we'll ask them to speak a bit louder.
Okay.
So for closing up, I want to ask each of you, but we're going to have to do it a bit briefly. What are you most proud of that you've accomplished through this coaching? And let's do that one first. Okay, but we'll do it a bit quick fire because we have to look at your transformative, I can't say that word very easily. Transformative action plan. So what are you most proud of? Liz, did you get that question? What are you most proud of? Transformational. I get stuck on the M.
Recently we were doing something and we were told, they were running a certain test and they told each of us to say the word dyslexia. And so this guy would tell, you say dyslexia, and so people who are struggling, now, your feet here, you know, to struggle with the word, this is where you go. So I understand.
Yeah, I have words that just can't say.
But someone can't say pulse. Pulse.
Pulse.
Yeah.
Oh, pulse.
Huh? I love saying palace.
Okay, so let's have a quick fire. What's the thing you're most proud of? And I'm going to start with you, Irene. What are you most proud of? A quick sentence.
I'm proud of the fact that the team is more connected
Yeah.
and that the isn't a lot of tension like before.
Yeah.
And so people like us who hardly communicated at that time, we feel that there is a kind of an openness,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't fear to say anything when I'm in this team. So well done, team.
Yeah, that's something to be very proud of. Awesome. Rogers.
I think I'm proud of being patient with me, the team being patient with me, and then also the openness,
Yeah.
yeah, and fear, getting out of the environment where we are. Proud of that.
Great. Wow. That's nice. So it's things that have changed around you and things that have changed for you as well. Fatuma.
I think I'm proud of the consciousness which is coming from the awareness with which we do things now.
Yeah.
Michael has mentioned professionalism 2 times, and I almost wanted him to say more of what, when he says professionalism, what he's talking about. But I said, Fatuma, keep quiet. But I think I have a problem. I don't like telling lies to myself, and I don't like just lip service. When someone says something, I really want to be sure that what they're saying is what they're saying. And
Okay.
you get someone to arrive somewhere to be sure that they mean what they say and they're saying what they mean. But I think those bits, what is informing,
Yeah.
even the appreciation that, yeah, it's important to be professional. For me, it's what I'm proud of.
Yeah.
Going forward,
Don't worry about going forward. We'll get there.
okay.
Liz, what are you most proud of?
Muted.
Or you're
You
muted.
mute yourself.
Sir, I thought all along I was mute. I like the awareness we have of each other's ways of character, and I feel this reduces harsh judgment.
Yeah. Great. And Michael?
I don't know whether this is what Fatima mentioned, but it's something that I am proud of. Our new way of doing things,
Say that again.
our new way
Okay. Yeah.
of doing work. And it's not about, it's no longer about me and my department, but it's about the organization.
Yeah.
I can proudly say that previously it has always been about me and my department, but now it is me and other departments.
Yeah. Great. And notice the question she's asked you about what you mean by professional.
And,
But don't worry about it here. I want you to discuss this back at the office or on the way or whenever. Samali,
I know she won't forget. So
she won't.
I think that the team is more appreciative of each other. We
Yeah.
appreciate each other. We I don't know if we put any time in it, but we celebrate each other.
Yeah. And that's in your values. I remember I was looking at my notes. The thing about celebrating each other and how you do it and making it formal. It's so important.
We've not yet made it formal, but at least
Yeah,
see
I know that's why I
where we're
mentioned
going.
it. I want you to keep it on your agenda as a really important thing.
And then, yeah, empathetic as a team.
Yeah.
More empathetic.
Okay, so then what about where might we have some bumps in the road as we move forward? Where do we think we might have challenges, or what do you think you need to keep focusing on to keep yourselves in this new way of working? Because I think in the morning we had a few things about backsliding.
Mm.
We all backslide a bit, but how are you going to minimize the chances of backsliding? Or what's the thing you're worried about?
We can have Liz first.
Liz, do you want to go first?
I was still thinking about it, composing.
Yeah, is that the 5 thinking?
Yes.
We can wait for you. The others can think as well while you're thinking.
So the question, what could be the challenges?
Yeah.
I thought of something, but then I thought to myself that it's also because of my time, so I left it.
It's okay, share.
Yeah, I was thinking what I feel maybe we need to improve more is kind of close to, I think, what somebody was talking about earlier, us being on the same page in terms of perspectives.
Yeah.
For example, someone might think, okay, might feel something is very important, but another person may not judge it the same way since they are also on a different page. So if we all can appreciate something with equal importance,
Yeah.
and make sure we all understand how it's pouring into the big picture, because we are in different, maybe allocated to different work staff or departments, so I may not understand so much what somebody's, maybe an example, somebody is saying something is important, but I may not understand how important it is to the main goal. But if I appreciate how important it is, I feel there will be more teamwork.
Yeah. So appreciating what everybody brings to the picture. Okay. Who else wants to share? If you have any worries. If you don't, it's fine. Fatuma, what's your worry, your concern?
Not to take things for granted, or
Yeah.
complacency,
Yeah,
or taking things for granted,
yeah,
and we lose the ball.
yeah. It's work. Like, to work well as a team, you have to keep investing in it. It's just the way it is, but it will serve you so well if you see the changes you've experienced. So yeah, don't get complacent, and notice when you are backsliding, and point it out. You know, you can just say to Fatuma, like, ish, I think we've let this go a bit. How might we get back on track, if you think that's happening? Anyone else want to share? Irene?
Okay, my worry would be that right now we have been hands-on because we are going through this. But after this, we realize that we have been engaged most of the time. Have a coaching session, we have to do this, we have to meet other team, we have a
Yeah.
transformation work. And then time will come when we don't have those things anymore. So I think my worry would be that shall we be more intentional about getting together as a team and support each other, talk about difficult things, and all the things that, because it's possible that if we stop this, if this ends, it's very possible that Irene will get into her mental health work, and then she will be buried there, because I mean, when we're going through the collective rising, training, we really having opportunities to meet up, to discuss the homework, the what. But this time around, not anymore. So how do we engage
Yeah.
the continuous engagements to help us to keep this? Because it's very easy for Irene to go into mental health and I'll not even want to know what sponsorship is doing. Because I have a lot on my table, I'm chewing. How do I also get up and be like, okay, so I have work here, but how do I have opportunity to go and check out what sponsorship is up to, the DIY? How about finance? Finance. Is Michael ready to share with me on a personal level about things? If it's my account,
Is your birthday?
it's my birthday. If Michael is my birthday, we have not even actually had that very serious engagement as far as birthday issue is concerned. How about if this ends? So we have to be so intentional. That's my
Yeah.
worry for now.
So how do you think you can deal with it?
Yeah, just like we have learned, it starts with self.
Yeah.
If I have opportunity to sit and think as an individual that this really made sense, it meant a lot of sense, then I should get up and do something
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, so being intentional, playing your role, you know, you you're all responsible, and you've all experienced how this has helped you work better as a team. So yeah, taking that responsibility and not putting it all on Fatuma's shoulders. Anyone else want to share?
Yeah, maybe it's a bit related to what has been said, that I think everybody's concern is on how do we move this, because we feel as a team that we're in a better place at the moment, and then there are fears because we've had a series of coaching with you, Sarah, done quite a number of practices about our development objectives. We've quite done a lot to be in this position that we are in. And Fatuma asked about professionalism, and one way I would describe it is that the way we speak is more professional. We've been, these days you can offer feedback, however difficult, positive or negative it is, someone will receive it in a professional way. That is one way I would describe how professional we have changed. Our concern is how do we ensure we don't backslide from where we are now.
Yeah.
And this will require us being in this together. I don't know whether we need to, it is possible that we can design maybe a schedule where we'll come as a team and try to, recap on such on these developmental objectives, or discuss about things that are affecting us as a team. Try to analyze, because like Irene is saying, we've always done this, the practice that we have always been doing, because we know that Sarah is going to come after 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then we are like, Rogers, our coaching is next week. I haven't met with Rogers to talk about the difficult questions. But
Yeah.
now we will think that Sarah is out of this. So how do we do that? We need to be intentional, like Irene was saying. We need to put up spaces where we will be able to discuss and share and gauge ourselves where we are, whether we are backsliding and try to light the candle again.
Yeah. So I think there's a part of that is about trusting that a lot of what you have built over the 6 months is within you. It's there. And there will be things that maybe are less strongly within you. So maybe those are the ones. And yes, you have to be intentional. So trust and intentionality, I think, are your key things. And know that you have grown and changed as a team, as individuals, and that's enough. Do you need me? No. Okay. Anyone else like to share? We've not got much time left. Fatuma,
I think some of the
a bit louder so Liz can hear as well.
Worries. I think they will be answered by the transformation plan.
Yes. Okay.
That's,
Great.
Yeah, that's what
Yes.
I'm reading. Some of the worries, and I also I think want to take what you said last seriously, trusting that what we have learned, right, what we have taken away with us from the process, will keep with us. But now maybe we don't give room. They say we have two people, the two people within us, the small man and the big man, and the big man can be destructive and makes a lot of noise. Now learning, not allow self-destruction, becoming a bit of a master of not allowing self-destruction. So with a big man who is making bad noise is also making it very loudly, how do you silence that big you with the other small you who is saying, speaking a bit slowly, calmly, but he's saying, no, this is the right thing. How do you listen to that small you in you?
Yeah, great. Roger, Samly, do you want to share, or can we move on to the plan?
Yeah, one last one. I think just like Fatma said, it might be answered. My worry was how do we bring this to the whole team back home.
Yeah.
That was my worry. But I think, as she said, maybe the other plan might be answered.
Yeah. So it's 3:00. The next session is at 3:30. Let's have a quick look at your transformational development plan, action plan. Is there something specific you want my input on, or what's going on?
I need your input everywhere.
Surely you don't.
Not every, okay, it may not be to the letter, but I think you understanding, getting a feel of what's the picture that we build.
So you're sharing your norms.
Yeah, this is
and
just
your
for reference
values.
purposes.
Okay.
But just
Why we
about
exist.
the
Yeah.
dream.
Okay, so this
That's-
is the project.
Yeah, this is the project. That this is our dream.
Okay.
Organizational culture that is driven by our norms and values.
Yeah, that's fine.
And that is just a mention of what the values and norms are. Then the organizational purpose, that is also us working with them. Our kukuza,
Yeah.
education, mission and vision. So we checked and we were convinced that where we want to go is aligned
Mm-hmm.
to why we exist. Then the strategic project is this.
Yeah.
We want to build our values and norms into our organizational policies and program strategies. That is just a mention of what those policies and program strategies are.
Yeah.
Then those are the objectives. We felt that we need to review and revise 5 of those existing policies to reflect our organizational norms and values, to have bi-monthly training programs
Brilliant.
for employees on values on our values and norms. Yeah?
Mm.
Then to incorporate organizational values and norms into program strategies. Then
Yeah.
ensure alignment of our practices. I think this one is very important for us. The practice. Then achieve employee engagement and participation in values-based initiatives. Eh?
Okay, so just questions on that. Why only 90% of employees? Is it because you're the other 10% and you already know them, or?
Okay, we were, I think, leaving room for
I would just-
absenteeism or...
I would just say for all employees.
Okay.
I mean, that's your aim. It might not, you might not get everybody, but that's,
Also, it was more of not the individuals or participants, but percentage of the values. If we want everyone to achieve 100%, feel like generally we would be like at 85. As all participants, we would be like at 85%.
yeah.
Not the individuals, the participants in numbers, but the values themselves. We can't be 100% as a vote.
I think that one was speaking to the employees themselves.
Yeah.
To be.
Communicates to employees.
But even C, I think it has the same spirit. Eh?
Yeah.
We don't need the 90%.
I just wonder if, while you're doing the values and norms, especially with employees, to keep what you've learned here also fresh for you, what about including some of, although I suppose it is in your values, isn't it? The, you know, professionalism, collaboration, respect, accountability, those are things that you've been practicing in your team. Well, I think, I wonder if there's room here to, if you're conducting training programs in your values and norms, what about also sharing, to build on what you just said, Rogers, sharing some of what you've learned through collective rising with other team members? Or is that something different?
That's kind of like intended as part of the trainings
Oh, I
and
see.
the coaching and the mentoring. I think the house
Okay.
is
In the actions and the
yeah,
plans.
in the actions and tasks.
Okay. Oh, that's nice. Making a talking reflective office. How do we get this done? Have you all participated in writing this up?
Yeah.
So you
Sure.
know it. It's only me who's seeing it for the first time. So actions and tasks, questions, how do we get this done? Do we hire an independent person? Can it be done by a coach? Do we tap into technology? Yeah. Celebrate achievements. Okay, so there's a lot of activities you're suggesting there. And then you've got your outcomes. Oof, your outputs. Are you supposed to provide a budget?
Yes.
And are you supposed to be presenting that as part of the thing here?
No.
No.
The budget.
Do you know how much this is going to cost?
Not yet.
Or you haven't done the budget yet? So what do you want from me?
One, we wanted to check in with you on what you think, feel.
So I think strategic
whole-
project is great. Build our values and norms into all our organisation policies and program strategies. But I think the most important thing is building it into your people, isn't it? The values and norms. Because really values and norms are lived by people rather than policies or programs, or is it everywhere?
The people is where we eventually want it to happen. But now the question was that I think also it was raised by a number of people in the morning.
Yeah.
That organizations evolve, people come in,
Yeah.
and people go.
Yeah.
So how do we
So it's got to be
ensure
everywhere.
that how do we ensure that whoever comes in finds that these norms and values are institutionalized in practices,
Yeah.
they're mainstreamed in policies,
Yeah.
they're so that it's the organizational culture, it's the
Yeah.
organizational way
Yeah.
of doing work. For instance, when he was sharing about giving and receiving feedback, the professionalism, development objective, I think number 3, the one where we take information to the right person
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
right spaces. That is what that has become a new way of work. But at some point we realized that it had not yet trickled down to
Exactly.
the rest of our team members. Something happened and we're like, oh my god, this is something we've not seen in the last couple of months. We have forgotten about it,
Yeah.
right? But yet for our colleagues it is still the way they think to do things. So then it's some of those incidences that make us realize that this has to be
Yeah. So I mean, I think
institutionalized and
the strategic project, in my opinion, is perfect for you to now focus on. But it's, have you got the? I would include organizational policies, program strategies, and staff or people. You could just say and our team, our whole team, or something. And then why it's important that it's in policies and strategies, so that it goes beyond people. But I think you're right. Then the key thing is, so the personality test, is that an Enneagram type thing or is it something else?
something like that. Yeah, like an Enneagram.
Or you could use something like the quadrants could be really useful for that. Or for how people see the world. I think it's quite easy to understand. Train staff and mentors. So I think your questions are the how do we get it done. So I think up to the end of the second page, it looks pretty good to me. And then so many outcomes. You're making my mind go boggly.
Yeah, 11.
Hmm.
18?
Then you have your results. So
No.
I mean personally, and
They're 11.
you've got your actions and tasks. Then you have questions. Then do you need
those questions? Some of the questions, I think some of the questions were answered in the
Okay.
morning. Like there was a question around, can we have the coaches available
Yes.
for us to consult, and that was
Yeah.
answered.
Yeah.
Then we also had some questions, like for instance, there's a particular question, which activity is this? Colleagues, can you recall? There's a colleague, okay, here. This training our staff mentors on our values and norms.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the tasks is to conduct quarterly and annual organizational review on our core values.
Yeah.
And also conducting that audit to ensure compliance. The question there was that one of the questions is, can it be done by the audit? Instead of getting someone who is not connecting with why we are doing what we are doing, can we have you do the audit? And the thinking was that we can do the audit for 2 quarters in a year. We do quarter 1, you do quarter 2, and then we do quarter 3, you do quarter 4, and at the end of the day, we can look at whatever the different quarters have given us and see how we're doing at the
Okay.
end of the year. What we are looking for, we don't want it to only be inward,
Yeah, it's sometimes
internally
good to have
audited
an outside
alone,
eye on it.
with an outside
Yeah.
eye.
So in terms of who whether I can do it or not, that I think that has to be discussed with Joyce
Yeah.
at some stage.
That's what we're looking for.
But I think honestly, I think if you presented, oh gosh, what have I done? If you presented to the group our norms, our values, why we exist, this is our project objectives, actions and tasks. And you explain why you want to do it, that's probably going to take you 15 minutes. Because I don't know whether you need to
Present the results.
present the outcomes. You've got outcomes, you've got outputs, you've got input, you've got results. Like,
Yeah.
are you crazy?
That's what we were asked to do.
Oh.
But I think we don't need to present all that. The presentation can
because
focus on those four
I
that
mean,
you've talked about.
So, I mean, I was just thinking outcomes and outputs or impact and results. Are they not pretty similar?
Especially results
Yeah.
and outcomes.
Exactly.
They're too similar.
Yeah.
So, though the difference I think is the result is more of like an indicator kind of thing,
Yeah, what
a
happens
measure,
at the end.
whereas
Yeah.
an outcome is that change that is
Yeah.
a bit more immediate than the impact.
Yeah.
It's a bit more immediate or intermediate than the impact.
Yeah.
Impact is longer term than that. But so what of those, what do we pick out to focus on for presentation? Outcome, results, impact. Do we focus on impact? Do we focus on results?
I don't know. What do you think?
Liz, tell us.
Yeah, Liz, which ones should you focus on? I mean, impact. Hey, we only have we're running out of time, guys.
But the presentation is tomorrow.
Yeah.
So,
Tomorrow, yeah.
I'm thinking like we could connect the project to what we've been learning. Like in our presentation, why did we come up with this project?
Yeah.
Where is it supporting us, supporting with what we learned and our team? And then of course we indicate how we're gonna do it,
Yeah.
and what we expect out of it.
Yeah.
That is
Just to
impact.
summarize, yes.
Yeah, I think the impact and also I think if you share a little bit at the beginning, I don't know how well the rest of the group know Cohort, but to just explain a bit about the transformation that's been going on in your organization,
Right.
regardless of collective rising. You know, the changing in registration, changing in your name.
Right.
So this is why the values and the norms are so important. And also that, you know, you have now been through this program and you want to infiltrate it into all parts of your organization. Both the people, the strategy, well, I mean not both, but the strategy, the people and the policies. I think it's brilliant. Because then it's embedding it all in all the structures of your organization. It could take you 2 years.
Sure.
And like you say, people transition, people move on. So and then it becomes ongoing. Maybe you won't do quite as much as you're going to do in the first 2 years, but it will still be ongoing. It's for you to keep it embedded in yourselves and embedded in and then your organization always has to invest in its people. Are you going to put it in a PowerPoint or are you going to
Yes.
present it as a?
PowerPoint.
Okay.
So, and I looked, when we say 15 minutes, that means those are 5 slides maximum.
Exactly,
Can't
yeah.
do more.
Yeah.
Should be 5 slides.
Yeah.
Because on average, each slide is 3 minutes.
Yeah, and put some
Yeah.
pictures.
Yeah, we had talked about it.
Put some nice pictures. Not, you know, I think maybe not so many words, but have those words available to you.
Pardon, have those words?
Available to you. So, you know, you could say we have 5 objectives. I mean, you know, those objectives for somebody to read on a screen can be a bit, it's a lot of words. So if you just, you know,
Summarize them.
sorry?
You can summarize them.
Yeah, you know, but you know, the fact that your strategic project is about building your values and norms into every structure in the organization. In a way, that's it.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do. And then you've got a bit on how you're going to do it, the actions and tasks. And you could say, we've developed our impact indicators, we've got our outcomes and outputs. Those will be in the proposal, but we're not sharing them here because it would bore you.
Sure.
I mean, you know. But if people want to, you said, you know, if you've got questions about them, feel free to ask the questions. But our main aim is that we embed everything in the whole team, because we are a Ugandan organization led by Ugandans, with Ugandans doing all the work. And we want to all be pushing in the same direction. And that's what we're going to invest in.
All right.
Does that help
Yes.
in
yes,
any
yes.
way? Just keep it simple.
Mm.
But each of you to be able to respond to people's feedback.
You're hearing it? Someone.
So that you can all respond, you know, because I imagine when you're presenting, maybe you'll all be standing at the front. I don't know. I don't know how we're doing it actually.
Yeah, I think we can keep it like for the whole team can participate in terms
Yeah,
of because
yeah.
it's quick and simple, so
Yeah.
they're just 5 slides. We have
Yeah.
questions and answers. Everyone can have some
Yeah.
slide.
Well, maybe you
Exactly.
can meet this evening and just say, you know, if someone asks a question on this, Irene, can you answer those questions? If someone asks something on this, Michael, can you be responsible for that?
All right.
Oh my goodness, we're supposed to start the next session in about 3 minutes.
3, 8,
Yeah.
7.
I
Okay.
think I'm facilitating, so
I think we're good.
yeah, thank you so much, all of you. You're an incredible team, and you've just grown so much in these few months. Yeah, just keep it up.
Sure.
Keep going.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so
You're an
much.
incredible coach.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, with your calmness and listening.
Where did we mention that in our, what was it?
Those questions in the
Those
morning.
questions.
It was mentioned
What
somewhere.
was the what was the most
Energy.
what the energy?
Yes.
Well, we're drawing our energy. The sun.
Yeah.
You are one of our energies.
Oh, that feels nice. Oh, great. Liz, you've already left us.
No, she's there.
Grabbing a cup of tea.
Oh, is she?
Oh, it's on the chair.
Yes.
She already left.
Let me, grab whatever we need to grab before the next session.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much too. We'll talk more as the 2 days go on as well.
Thank you very much.
If you want to discuss anything else as well, on the action plan, just let me know
All right.
once we're. I knew this session wouldn't be long enough.